Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the GILLCAST. It's week one. We got a lot of tilts. If you're new to the show, this is where myself, Sammy Reid, and Nate Nohling recap our week one through 17, week 1 through 18 NFL DFS cash game lineups on DraftKings. We run through our tournament teams. This is going to be simulcast on my YouTube channel and also is going to be posted on the rotogrinders fantasy football podcast feed. So if you're listening to this on rotogrinders, hello. If you want to come hang out with us on YouTube and watch it live, you can. This is the first time we have ever done this show live with a peanut gallery. Boys, the peanut gallery is here for a very monumental, a very eventful daily fantasy slate. And Nate, I cannot wait for us to recap your lineup, brother.
We got to do Nate's team last, bro, because the people are gonna fucking love this.
The people are gonna love it.
It was terrible. Not a fun day.
We made it through. We made it through week one. I mean, it's been a long off season of drafting best ball teams. I kind of had a little bit of culture shock this morning, you know, setting DFS lineups, turning red zone on. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I did too, but then like literally an hour into the slate, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this.
Like,
it didn't feel quite right until I got the Davis tilting about Kyle Pitts text, and then 10 seconds later, him scoring a touchdown.
Well, it turns out I was right. Turns out in the end, I actually was pretty right to be tilting Kyle Pitts. You could have just taken a 0 for a 2-point. Like whoever played Jatavian Sanders probably beat us. I would imagine. Beat Kyle Pitts' 11.6 useless ass fantasy points. So if you're new to the show, this is basically what we do. Myself, Sammy, and Nate, we play a 3-man together on DraftKings where we go over our lineups. We talk about, basically what went right, what went wrong. And for the first time, this is beautiful, guys. We are going to be able to display the teams that we all played to the viewers live on YouTube. Also,
not a good week to display, by the way.
Not a good week.
Not a good week, but breaking news. So the thing we added the last 2 years is we've recapped our tournament lineups, and I'm just going to have the solver pulled up. So there's not going to be any arguing over, dude, the Sims would totally like this team or the Sims would hate this team. We're just going to be able to plug her on in, and we are going to be able to check if the Sims do or do not when we get to the GPP section. We are going to do a small format change this year, a small format change. We're just, instead of going kind of position by position and talking through it, we're just going to do each team in a row and then talk about our decision. So I will go first. I played what was one of the more chalky teams. I don't know if it was the most chalky team, but it was definitely one of them. I played Anthony Richardson at quarterback. I played Rashad White, Alvin Kamara at running back. A wide receiver, I played Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, Andre Yoshibas, Drake London. I played Kyle Pitts at tight end, and I played the Carolina fucking Panthers at defense, man. The Carolina Panthers. These are the ownerships in the massive $25 double up. 46% on Richardson, 52% on Rashad White, 40% on Kamara, 70% on Tyreek. That was crazy. I thought that was crazy.
It was the only reason we didn't suffer financial ruin today. Like, yeah. Do you guys think the arrest in the morning had anything to do with it? Or
Absolutely.
I think it must have.
It had to have, because the projections didn't change. Any optimal you ran, he was in. Cardi on rotogrinders had him projected for the second most raw points of the entire slate, the whole slate. Neighbors at 34%. That felt a little low to me. Yoshi Boss at 68% also felt a little bit low for me. I thought there was no way to get off of him in cash. Obviously, I thought if you wanted to play McMillions, if you wanted to play Roma Dunze, like there were other cheap wide receivers you could have played. Pitts at 41. I thought that was high. I thought just because he was Kyle Pitts, it would have been like at most 25%. London and the Panthers. So let's talk about
what was London owned?
London in the massive $25 double up was owned 29.9%. So 30%.
So a third of all people out there have no grooves in their brain whatsoever. That's incredible.
It is truly, not only was London one of the worst cash game plays in the history of cash games, the fact that very many people, such as myself, played Kyle Pitts and Drake London together against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt wants to just get in a rock fight. They want to hold the ball and hand it off to Najee and run Justin Fields and hand it off to Najee again and do a 4-yard out. I believe I saw this. I believe that Justin Fields only threw past the sticks twice. So only threw past the sticks twice the whole game. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I've been waiting all offseason. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and jam 2. Not 1. Not, positional scarcity, Kyle Pitts, he's got a good projection. No, I said Kenneth Walker III. Why would I need to play Kenneth Walker III? An absolute verifiable grown man. Let's play Drake London, who averages 8.6 fantasy points per game for his career. Let's just go ahead and play that guy straight up over Kenneth Walker. So I thought the locks for cash were Rachaad White, Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, Yoshi Boss. I thought the potential quarterback options were Anthony Richardson, Jaden Daniels, very small consideration to Justin Fields. I looked at it. The extra $700 didn't really get you anywhere.
That was the thing. I would have played Fields if the money got you something else significant.
I guess it could have got you up a defense to the Vikings, but I probably would have played the Bengals anyway.
No,
maybe it could have got you.
I would never do that for a defense. Yeah, there was no.
Yeah. You would never make a weird decision to pay up for a defense. Wait till we get to Nate's lineup.
Nate would never do it.
So that left my decision with, okay, of the playable running backs, I thought the playable running backs were White, Kamara, Kenneth Walker. Small consideration maybe to trying to figure out what'd you say, Sammy?
Achane.
Yeah, an Achane. Yeah, of course. So ultimately decided against Achane. Feels pretty dumb now. I mean, it was a 1v1 Kamara versus Achane. They were $100 apart.
I mean, so here's the thing. Kamara projected way better, right? In any major system, whether it's Cardies or ETRs or whatever, he projected better than Achane did. And it makes sense because he's a big favorite at home in the dome, and he's going to get just like all the receiving work, a ton of rushing work. But here's the thing.
He honestly would have smashed even harder. That's the thing, is he would have smashed even harder had the Panthers not been like the literal worst team in football.
If they weren't the Panthers, but they are.
But they are the
thing
Panthers.
Is, the projections don't know ball, right? Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Kamara was a great play. I was never coming off of him, but the reality is like.
Well, the reality is that you could have simply played him over Rachaad White. You could have gone down at tight end. You could have played Zach Ertz at tight end, and gotten Achane over White or Achane over the London KW3 spot. Which
what I almost did, and we don't have to necessarily go over my lineup.
Sure. I mean,
we played essentially the same lineup.
You played the Commanders defense. I played the Panthers defense.
Yeah, so you got 2 more points than me because it was -1 and -3. Hats off to you, Davis Mattek. But I almost went JF1 at quarterback and Achane in the flex.
That would have been unique. That would have been unique. That was not a team that I saw rolled out.
Well, and also I would have ended up getting the Chargers defense there, so that would have been better. I wanted Achane, man, because dude, Achane's like legitimately playing receiver almost. He's playing.
This is a huge train. Do you guys see this team right here? This team is a huge train, and that they just did the right thing. They just played Kenneth Walker.
That's the best team.
Yes. So that's my team.
That's the team that I had this morning.
With the correct decision. That is my team, but with the correct decision, which is, let's just be real. I mean, this was my thought process. It was, well, Kenneth Walker's a running back. He doesn't catch that many passes. It's the new meta on DraftKings. It's the 4 wide receiver. It's Kirk Cousins. They're going to throw a billion times. They're at home. They're in the dome. They actually, I was surprised by this. Cardi had London for 16.8 and he had Walker for 16.2. And I feel really bad. I do feel really bad about it. I just think there's no excuse for it. It's terrible.
I feel bad.
I feel awful about the London thing. I mean, it's honestly, the Fields thing should have should have made me consider getting off of both Falcons. And I think that's what I didn't factor in properly. Of like the Cousins passing attempts should have docked 5 or 6 in projections as soon as the Fields news came out. And I didn't.
That's a huge dock on projection, bro. But I mean, the reality is like, dude, it's the Atlanta Falcons. They have a 35-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles tear. They're playing the Pittsburgh defense. Who gives a shit about JF1, bro? We had 2 Falcons.
It really wasn't. It's not Fields. It's just the Steelers. It's the fact that the Steelers are gonna be in these rock fight games. They're gonna drag everyone's pace down. They kicked
it's
6
really
bad.
Field goals and won by 8 points. Like that's the kind of game.
6 field goals.
It's so gross. That's the kind of game that the Steelers are gonna play. Like, why did we think the Atlanta Falcons? Obviously, we're more bullish on them last year. Maybe we didn't properly account for the Arthur Smith revenge game narrative, did we? No. And look what happened to us. We're dusty. Our lineup sucked. We lost money. Thanks, Arthur Smith.
This is going to be Kirk Cousins' low in pass attempts, maybe for the year. I mean, no one had. I don't think any site had him projected for less than 35 pass attempts. And the fact that he ended up throwing 26 or 28 or whatever he threw.
Well, and half obviously John Robinson in the flat, bro.
Yeah, that's the other thing is they're just gonna build the whole, like, all the offseason talk about Bijan, like they're building the whole plane out of Bijan. It's just all Bijan all the time. Bijan didn't even score, and he got 23 without a touchdown. Like, it's just gonna
the Bijan workload was incredible.
If assuming they don't make any big changes, which I don't think they will. In fact, probably after watching the Kirk Cousins game film, they're like, Bijan, how about 30 touches?
How about more
20?
Bijan?
Yeah, I was going to say 23 was good, but how about 30, Bijan? Are you into that? Are you able to hold up? Because I one of my big week 1 takeaways was the enthusiasm for the Falcons passing game is going to need to be tempered because
Ray McLeod was their leading
receiver.
Well, I just think it's not about the passing game. We just played the wrong guy. We played the 4th target. We played Drake London when we should have played either Ray or Darnell Mooney. I mean, the fact that we played
Ray
American dollars on the 5th option. What were we thinking? We're Kenneth Walker. I mean,
okay. I'm gonna make a confession here. Here's what happened to me. I saw the projections. The projection said you must play Drake London, and I never considered coming off Drake London. I didn't even think about Drake London versus fucking Kenneth Walker.
He was my last one. He was London was like, I thought Reek was a lock, Neighbors was a lock, Yoshivas was a lock, Kamara or Achane or White were all locks, and then it was one of those 3 quarterbacks. It was that last spot.
Neighbors was not a lock.
Neighbors was a lock.
Neighbors, I don't think Neighbors was a lock.
Tyreek and Yoshi were a lock. I do not think Neighbors was a lock.
Neighbors was like, hey, it's a little bit more of an art play. Like, he's their new toy.
That's the thing. That you think that, but he was actually a jam. Like, it was one of the cases where the ball knowers and the projections were aligned.
The projections liked him, but the projections didn't say you must.
The projections, here's the thing, is the projections did like Godwin more, and I looked at that and I said, no, dude, I'm
playing that old best ball. I'm playing new hotness, and guess what happened? Fucking Godwin dunked all over him.
I don't think Neighbors was a jam. I think there's plenty of concern about the Giants passing offense. There's plenty of concern about that overall game becoming gross, that I don't think Neighbors was the lock that you're acting like he was. I mean, Kirk was an option. Godwin was an option. There was a lot of options in that range.
Yeah, at least we didn't play Kirk.
At least, yeah. God, imagine. Can you imagine? Did you guys think of that for 1 second, where you were like,
I did.
I
definitely.
I had the 2 Falcons. I might as well play Kirk Cousins.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine?
No, not Kirk Cousins. Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk.
Oh,
sure.
Christian Kirk. Yeah. Who I think
Christian Kirk was in play at that price.
Yeah, I mean, not for me, but I know ball, and so I guess that would be hard for you to comprehend, Nate, is knowing that the Christian Kirk experience is over, dude. It's over. Gabe Davis is better than Christian Kirk.
Well, I mean, Christian Kirk's their substitution 3rd receiver, right?
Like literally, yes. Brian Thomas Jr. is immediately the best wide receiver on that team.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Immediately.
If you knew ball, you'd play the best wide receiver on the Giants and Wan'Dale Robinson for $3,000 cheaper. But
I mean, dude, Wan'Dale had what, 12 or 13 targets?
yeah.
Wan'Dale
led the.
How about Greg
Stephen
Dortch?
Walker.
How about Greg Dortch leading the Arizona Cardinals with Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. in receiving, and the game they're trying to win the game. It's 4th and 7, and it was a play drawn up for Dortch. That by the way, he could have won on.
I think he got a rush also.
He could have won that. He could have caught that, but it was just a really bad throw from Kyler. It was like a comeback, and Kyler threw. Yeah, it's neither here nor there.
I think we've been fooled into thinking Kyler Murray's good because he scores fantasy points. He is not.
No, he is good. He is good. He's very good.
Dude, he's a coward.
Yeah. The touchdown throw that he threw to Michael Wilson, like he's one of the only quarterbacks who can do that, who can keep that play alive. He never even broke the pocket on that throw.
Dude, what happened to Marvin?
The second half was not great.
Yeah, what happened to Marvin Harrison, bro? Where was Marvin?
Greg Dortch. I mean, Greg Dortch just had 28% target share or something like that. I mean,
we know Dortch is goated. Like, this is unarguable. But, I mean, Marvin Harrison had 3 targets, 1 catch for 4 yards. That's
just a total. It's like, dude, Devonta Smith 2 years ago had 0 points in week 1. It's a weird, weird stuff happens. There's an anchor effect.
I think maybe Kyler Murray doesn't know ball. That's what I'm afraid of.
No, I'm not worried about that one at all. All right, Sammy, do you have anything else you want to say about your team?
I just want to say that I am a pathetic idiot. I mean, I have gills instead of lungs. I mean, it is insane. I like Kenneth Walker. I played Kenneth Walker on a ton of tournament teams. He was obviously a smash. He's at home against the weak sauce ass Denver Broncos. Obviously, he's smashing. And I didn't make a conscious decision. I was doing all this stuff. Yeah, my wife's out of town. I'm taking care of the kids. It's just like, oh, yeah. Well, I got a good team. This looks real solid. And to literally miss Kenneth Walker over London, I would have done it. That's the thing. I would have done it. And I just didn't. Yeah. Like I
texted you that team earlier.
I don't be looking at your teams, bro.
Yeah, I texted.
And I'm like, I'm not playing whatever Nate's sending.
I texted the exact team. I texted the exact team with Kenneth Walker, and then the next text, I was like, oh, actually, we could just do London.
I had the neighbors.
Look, the truth is, my kids are probably gonna have to go to community college because I played Drake London over Kenneth Walker III, and I'm gonna have to tell them, like, Daddy messed up. I'm sorry.
It's looking at it. I mean, it's the only thing that I think is really bad. I mean, obviously, like, oh, it'd be really nice to have the Bears or the Vikings or whatever, but like that just is going to happen at defense. It's whatever.
Yeah, we ain't paying up for all that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could talk a little bit about Richardson instead of Daniels or whatever. I mean, Richardson is he's a fantasy point god, dude.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I thought JD was real viable. But it is a tough sell to say, okay, in your first NFL game on the road, we're gonna take you. And part of me feels like a little bit of a hypocrite because Anthony Richardson has played like 17 games since he started college or something like that. So, but he's shown it in the NFL, and it was in the dome. It's against a team that could really push him, projected really well, all that stuff. So that was another case where like the ball knowers and the projections kind of like came together, but Daniels ended up with an ass ton of rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, I think.
Yeah, Daniels looked great.
And he could have got another one, but they gave Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson had like a 5-yard one or whatever.
But
no, I think A-Rich was a lock. I think if you didn't play A-Rich in cash,
I think the Daniels alternative on this team was literally playing Devin A-Chain over Drake London, so probably fine.
Ooh,
probably pretty fine to do that.
God, it would have been such a great late sweat to have Daniels in garbage time just scoring 1-yard touchdowns. I would have enjoyed that a lot more.
All right, Nate. I think we have not mentioned the name of the guy that you played. So let's
we've been saving it. Chat, get ready. Get ready.
Look what they did.
Chubba Hubbard, baby! Nate
When
played
you can
Chubba
play-
Hubbard. The timeshare back on the worst offense in the league on the road against New Orleans. Nate,
Watching
step up
Bryce
to the
Young,
gallows and explain yourself. Why did you do this?
I don't know. I've been asking myself for the last 6 hours. Why watching Bryce Young just fumble himself around on the football field and then thinking, you know what? I need this back. I need this timeshare running back because I mean it was just unbelievable. It was the worst. I had the Walker Neighbors team, and I don't know. The Neighbors thing scared me. The Giants, I think taking a whiff at wide receiver scares the crap out of me. So I went with the London and Hubbard team, and it was bad. I mean,
Sam
definitely
Miller's with you, dude. Sam Miller is with you. He was a big Chuba Hubbard guy.
Don't accept the L.
I thought A-Rich was a lock. I thought Kamara was a lock. I thought White was a lock. Tyreek was a lock. I thought Yoshi and Pitts were locks, and then it just came down to those last couple spots. And I looked at Neighbors, Walker, Carolina, Neighbors, Walker, Arizona, and just played bad.
Chubba Hubbard. I mean, that line, just like 14 rush yards. That's
14 rush yards.
It
was terrible.
It shows a snowflake, but there really should be some sort of blizzard or something for a line like that. There should be a special.
And Nate, the thing is you did it to not play the Panthers defense, I think, because you internally knew the Panthers were not good. Like you look at this team and you have the Bills defense, which, like, whatever. It's neither here nor there. Really,
it's kind of not whatever. Why didn't you play the Chargers defense, Nate?
I like the Bills better.
What? But why?
They projected better.
He thinks Kyler Murray doesn't know
like
ball.
half their defenders in free agency. Matt Milano gets hurt in the preseason. They're playing an actual good offense with like good offensive players. Why'd you use them instead of the Chargers?
Because they projected better.
I thought the Chargers projected better.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Um,
Now again, people are mistaken.
But-
People are. I'm realizing from the comments, people don't always really get cash. Playing Kamara and Hubbard together is fine. Like if they were the two best projected options, there's no reason not to play them
Yes,
together.
I have no problem with those. The only reason Hubbard was a bad play was just because of the Walker Neighbors thing. I mean, it was, yeah. I feel bad about the Walker or the Hubbard thing. The Bills over the Chargers, I think is fine. I think from a passing attempt standpoint, the sacks that you're going to get with Kyler and everything else, I think the Bills is a great play at 3K. I would do that one again. The only play I honestly feel bad about is the London Hubbard thing. It should have been Neighbors Walker.
Yeah, it's really awful, Nate. What you've done here.
I guess we should maybe talk like a second for Yoshi Boss. I mean, he literally ran a route on 100% of the dropbacks. He was a lock. He was stone lock. Almost had a touchdown. They went to him on a key fourth down. The thing is the Bengals, I believe they only ran 49 plays. Like they could not. It was the same thing as the Falcons. They could not get the Patriots off the field. And again, I mean, look at this was the nut team. This was a team that won absolutely no sweat. It's fine. It was literally just a 1v1 versus Sammy and I's team. Just like you just don't play London. If you just did not play London and you played the good team today, you won basically, because you could have done Jay Daniels and A-Chain. You could have done. I mean, that's all you had to do.
Yeah, so somebody smart had this team. It wasn't us, obviously, but God, I mean, it looks so easy. Just play Kenneth Walker. Why didn't you do that? I mean, God
Why
damn
didn't
it.
you do that?
God damn it. I mean, Nate, what was Chubba Hubbard owned? I want to know.
I mean, I didn't even look.
I need you to look. The people need you to look.
I should look. It was.
It was not nothing. It was not. I guarantee he was above 10%.
No, he was only 7.4.
Yeah, nobody's clicking Chubba Hubbard, bro. What you talking about?
I mean, this. I just Going Chuba over Kenneth Walker. I mean, it's just bad. Just bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's like I said, it the defense stuff, like none of that matters. Like Bills, Panthers, whatever.
Yeah, I just checked again. I had the Bills over the Chargers, and
it doesn't matter. That's like it's like all noise. It really is whatever.
Nate, I need to know this. So you're the people don't know, but you're a new father. You have a son. You're a grown up adult now. Congratulations. Really, really happy for you. How much did having a baby who's, not letting you sleep and doing all this stuff, and how much did that play a role in like you clicking Chubba Hubbard?
I wish I could blame it on Levi, but I can't blame this one on the kid. I own it. I mean, it was terrible.
All right.
I just gotta do better. Week 1. I'm glad I got this play out of the way early, though. I'm glad I have the rest of the season to look forward to now. Get the week 1.
The thing is, you know what the thing is? Almost always Nate, every freaking week that we've done this for like years and years, Nate sends some like batshit crazy play 5 minutes before lock. And we're like, oh yeah, the people are going to love this. Yeah. And then Nate always swaps off of it and then he wins and we're mad about it. Oh, it would have been so great if Nate had like stuck with that play. This time you did. And that's just really special. And I appreciate you for it, man.
I mean, yeah. It hurt. Bad play.
What can you do? Any comment for the well, I guess that's the SimLab stuff on rotogrinders. I was running it. Number 1 large field quarterback play was Carr doubles.
Really?
Number 1. I did consider this. I did consider Stone punting tight end Theo Johnson, Jatavian Sanders, Mike Gesicki, like Stone. What did
Jatavian do?
I don't think he had a reception. Almost no chance he had a reception.
I'm pretty sure the Giants guy didn't also. I'd have to look though.
He got a target and then committed a personal foul.
Smooth.
Yeah, 1.4 for Jatavian. But I did consider it.
When Kyle Pitts scored that touchdown, it was pretty magical. I'm gonna be honest. It was a good catch too, I know it was wide open, but he used
it was a good route. It was a good route to get there. Yeah. I think the Pitts play, I actually am like until the third quarter, he had run a route on 100% of dropbacks. I don't know if that.
I don't feel bad about the Pitts play at all. The Pitts play was not fish. I would do the Pitts play again. I think honestly, the Falcons, this is going to trend positively for the Falcons for the rest of the year. Cousins is. Yeah, I'm definitely not sure. Huge upgrade for both of these guys. I'm fine with the London or not London. I'm fine with the Pitts thing. I do think the London thing. There's a question if Bijan's going to get this much work, if Ray's going to get this much work. I don't think London is going to have the whopper, the target share that he would need to be able to stay at the value that he's been.
Yeah, but I think Pitts will be enough whopper for Nate.
Yeah, I think Pitts will be fine.
Three targets ain't going to do it. We're actually getting robbed here because the Falcons are on Monday night next week. We do not have a chance to martingale Drake London. Sad.
All right, let's. That's the cash game team. It's just really not that interesting. There weren't a ton of debates or anything this week. So let's go.
Is week 1 usually this chalky? I actually can't remember.
No. Normally it is because people are relying all on the projections. They have so little. They have so little to go on. They're just like, oh well, the numbers I say it's good. It'll and especially as there becomes wider deltas between, like, for example, Cardi will have wider deltas in projections versus ETR in week 4 than he will in week 1 because the data will be everyone has the inputs different.
Yeah. This week I would say most projections were pretty aligned. Like the chalk cash build was pretty clear.
Yes.
Yeah. All you had to do was just not play Drake London.
All you had to do was not play Drake London.
And you won. Easy.
All right. This was my team in the 300K end zone, $75 to enter, $50K to first. I had another team that also scored 143 that was a Stroud double, but I think this team is more interesting to talk about. So it's Fields and Pickens. I think I probably feel pretty good about that after watching how the game went, because Pickens was the only guy who Arthur Smith had drawn anything up for. Every other throw was like a complete accident. It was like either it was to Pickens or it was not happening. I did play A-Chain and Tyreek together. I definitely think that's fine.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Like I thought Tyreek was essentially, you had to have a very good reason to not be playing Tyreek in any given lineup. I did play Kamara here. 15% on A-Chain, 17% on Kamara.
Played London and Pitts in this.
I did play. Well, this was with Fields. So I had this. I had this same debate.
Okay.
So I had this same debate on this one. Do I play Kenneth Walker on this one? The answer is no. I go London because, because of the game stacks up in London. And the thing is with Pickens, I mean, you guys can see from the ownership, Fields was 14%, Pickens was 6%. That actually was combinatorially unique. London and Pitts is not bad together when you are playing it for a higher total.
Well, 40 total, and it went under by 12 points.
So I simmed this lineup out, so we can just do. Oh, is this lineup good?
How big is that field?
This is the red zone field. So 2,000 whatever entries or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I sim ROI, kid.
I simmed this lineup before, so I knew it was good ROI before I played it. But 40% sim ROI, 27% sim cash rate. But the reason why I really like this one was the high end finishes were very concentrated, very high at the end, or at the very top. 1.64% in the top 1%, almost 2% in the top 2%. So it's really concentrated on those high end results. So that was why, like, I was like, for Fields to get there, it's, I guess the thing is when Fields gets there, he really gets there. Fields doesn't get like 22 a lot, if that makes sense. Fields is either getting you like 13 or 32 there, because he's so events based. It's does he run for a 47-yard touchdown or not? Kind of like a home run hitter or whatever in baseball. Now he did not run a 47-yard touchdown in this one, but yeah, I mean, obviously I wish I had London, or I wish I had Walker here. Let's test it. Let's test it with Walker. I bet for sure it sims worse. Walker and Yoshi Boss. Because of the correlated stuff. It's just gonna, well, and maybe I'll be wrong. Yeah, worse sim ROI, worse high-end finishes, worse cash rate. It's across the board. It's worse with Walker. So that must have been why I did it this morning. And obviously the computers don't know shit, because the computer doesn't know that Kenneth Walker is good and Drake London is bad. So there we are. That was my team.
I mean, the issue with that team, I would say, and this, what did Fields come in at in that contest? I bet Fields came in
higher than he was projected. Yeah, higher than he was. So let's see.
14%.
Fields Peon was 8% and came in at 14%.
Yeah, so that and 14% Fields is like a terrible play. I don't think that would have in your post contest sims. That's not going to look nearly as good in my opinion. I think the Fields thing, I thought he was under projected by most ownership things, because everybody wanted to play the shiny toy in Fields, and like double the ownership of Fields of what you're expecting, I think definitely is going to hurt. But the thing that I think in post-contest sims will probably make this lineup look okay, that was really surprising in most tournaments, was Alvin Kamara came in way underowned. What did he come in at on that field?
17%. And Pickens was 6%.
So yeah, Kamara should be like efficient ownership in a tournament at this is like 30-35% probably. And
28% is what
so him at 13% or whatever is like, now you have a smash play at running back, because people got really fancy with their running back plays in tournaments.
And Yoshi didn't even get super jammed. Yoshi was 37%.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, I do think this lineup works and is a positive even in a post.
That's the thing is Kamara now is not fun. Kamara is not a fun click anymore. Kamara now is Kamara is like the same thing as clicking Ezekiel Elliott now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but right. Kamara at 14% or 17% when you're, I mean, yeah, Kenneth Walker got steamed up to like 30% in most tournaments, which makes him like a terrible play in tournaments. And Walker and White ends up being great plays in most of these tournaments because they all came in under 20%.
Yeah.
All
right, Sammy.
Run my lineup, bro.
Yeah, go slowly so I can tell me what we're playing.
Okay.
What contest?
Okay, so this was in the 300K end zone.
Okay, so the same contest. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. So I played Kyler Murray with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh.
Strong. Yeah. And on the other side of that, I had Khalil Shakir.
I did really like Shakir. I think that was pretty strong of you.
Yeah, thank you. Way better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Way better than Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah.
At running back, I went Achane and Kenneth Walker.
You know ball?
Because I know ball, and they're just ballers. And I ran a little. Oh no, I didn't. I played Stephon Diggs in this lineup.
You don't know ball.
Yeah, you do.
Yep.
No, Nico. Hey, how many air yards did Diggs have, Nate? You got that off the top of your head? Because I know.
It's not as many as Nico. But I didn't have the money with Nico.
Diggs has 9.
Diggs had an 18.5% target share with a 1.58 not great. So 30
yeah, so 1.58 you doing a lot of jamming of all 1.58 Diggs. What's the rest of the lineup, Sammy? What's the rest?
I played another guy who's never played an NFL game before at tight end, Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Bowers was.
Sammy, this is too fancy.
Yeah, the Sims are gonna.
You're giving up way too much.
I know from doing this morning, I had to like fight against the Sims hard to get a Kyler lineup to sim well.
Yeah.
This is going to be really bad.
This is going to be, Sammy, this is going to be a mega bad because the amount of projection you're giving up is not worth this ownership.
Well, the Sims really aren't going to like my flex.
Well, okay, it is also important to remember, like, Sims are different. Like, Sims are going to be pretty sensitive to projected ownership. Sims are going to be pretty sensitive to projection. Like, it's not like just because I'm clicking this button and says sim doesn't mean that all Sims will return the same answer.
I know. Look, bro. I'll take my
continue.
L.
Continue.
I'll take my L because my flex spot was taken by none other than Jalen McMillan.
Oh no, this is McMillan over Yoshi. I thought was very strong.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, not in the rest of this lineup.
Not in the context of this lineup, but yes, continue.
That just gives up 3 points of projection for no reason.
I think I have 3 stone-ass rookies who have never played an NFL game before.
What defense was it? McMillan. What defense?
The Saints.
Saints
defense. So this lineup actually did cash. Scored 132.58.
Yeah, I did. I thought the
oh, look at the tail end of that thing.
4.4% of the time you finish dead fucking last.
Sorry, Sammy.
Should I not be building lineups while I'm taking dumps on my toilet? What's the ROI? The ROI on this is negative 27%. Dude, fire me to the sun. This is so bad. So bad.
I can tell you immediately how you can make this look a little bit better.
Tell me, please.
You go from Shakir to let's call it neighbors. It doesn't really matter, but let's call it neighbors.
I was making the game stack, bro.
Yeah, I know. And you go from Bowers to Pitts, and you go from Bowers to Pitts, and you go Yoshi Voss and whatever defense. Bills, sure. And that is going to get you way closer.
I'm not playing the Bills defense against Kyler Murray, mate.
There you go. That gets you.
That gets the Bills defense against Kyler Murray makes this lineup so much better.
Why would you not like the Bills defense versus Kyler Murray? You get that, like, playing against quarterbacks like that increases the defense's chance of sacks, interceptions, fumbles, and other things like that. Like
Nate, Kyler Murray is in this lineup.
That's why. Okay, never mind. I forgot this was
But even doing that, it makes this lineup so much better. I mean, this was.
I am just clicking buttons after the fact, obviously, but I'm just showing that you're just giving up too many. Like, how many points do you think you gave up versus the optimal team on that? Like, you probably gave up like 40 points or something.
Well, I felt like, it's week 1, nobody knows shit, I'm just gonna click some buttons, fire it on in there and think something that's gonna be great. It did not happen.
This is where I actually do think best ball was fun for me this offseason, because I was able to look at times of like, okay, these two guys I have ranked so similar, but I have some week 17 correlation. I have some this correlation. Like, how much do I want to actually shift this guy up in my rankings? Where this, Sammy, you chose correlation over like 35 points of ranking. Or
you want to be correlating some in the small field, but you don't need to be correlating crazy
this much. Yeah.
Not great, Bobo. God, this is embarrassing. I didn't understand that I'd get buried like this. This is tough.
Yeah, I told Sammy before the show, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna be able to run the Sims, and like we're just gonna be able to have this argument. Is this good? Is this bad?" And
he was excited for it. I just want you to know, halfway through the first quarter of the Lions-Rams game, Cooper Kupp has 5 catches.
I know. I'm a big Cooper Kupp guy over the 5th round rookie from BYU. All right, Nate.
No.
This is what the people. Yeah, I have a great tweet that I'm cooking up to tweet for Sam Sherman after.
He's only got 26 yards. I'm with Sam Sherman. Sammy Reid and Sam Sherman. We're in lockstep. That Kupp is not the guy there.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have 2 teams I'm trying to decide who I want to go into. One of them is going to look good in post contest because ownership went my way. Another one. Okay, let's do my Wildcat team because I thought this one, I felt good about it going into lock.
Okay. The Wildcat.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
I had a Trevor Lawrence. Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas Jr., and Evan Ingram.
Oh my God, Nate, this is too much, dude. It's too much. Even if the Sims like this, I'm voting insane dog shit on this.
Javonte Williams.
How about
Bijan Robinson
team, by the way?
Javonte, Bijan,
Drake London, Rashad White, and Colts D.
White and the Colts D, huh?
And then I do have a Kylan Granson team for Mr. Alex Jacobson.
All right, Nate, I don't care that the Sims say this is good. This is dog shit.
No, this is a good team. This is a good team.
There is not one universe that I've lived in, that you've lived in, that anyone has ever lived in, where a 3 Jaguars lineup is getting there without Tyreek Hill. Not one, not now, not ever, dude.
So here's how, Davis, when you construct a lineup, you got to tell yourself a story. And your story is Tyreek Hill, the FBI comes in and removes Tyreek forcibly from the game. Miami goes off, but it comes through so many different avenues. Devon Achane scores a touchdown. Waddle gets a touchdown.
Yes, the Miami Dolphins notoriously wide target tree.
Tyreek still gets 100 in the bonus, but he doesn't score a touchdown and he doesn't sink you. And the Jaguars have to respond with just pass after pass after pass.
Baker Triple did literally win with an earned spring back. So
thank you, Shuby. These guys don't know. These guys don't know.
This is honestly the only, like, I guess I would give it more of a pass. Why White over Waddle?
Well, that's why, because I had gotten so off of like ownership that I just wanted to jam in the most projected points possible.
Well, not much better, about the same, actually.
No, that's
honestly.
worse.
It's Simar 29% versus 33% or whatever.
The same.
So yeah, the reason I didn't was because I didn't need to give up any more points in projection at this point to get more contrarian. Like I'd already.
Oh yeah,
leverage.
the Trevor Lawrence triple stack. You're staking. That's all you in the Wildcat. All right, please,
Okay,
please
give
give me this.
lineup, Nate.
Okay, fine. Let me give you the other teams, the Kylan Granson team.
Let's get it.
All right. So this was in the 150K SPY.
Shit. What did they do to our SPY, by the way?
I couldn't even get it. Was gone. When I logged on this morning, it was gone.
The biggest SPY was like 200K or something like that. They shrunk
it,
it.
I think they did this contest instead. I think they did this $75 end zone. I think they made it.
They also had a $100 milli maker.
Yes. Yeah.
So
it'll be back. Our contest will be back.
I need it.
All right. So the 150K SPY, I had A-Rich with Michael Pittman Jr. and Kylan Granson.
Oh my God, an Anthony Richardson double stack.
An Anthony Richardson double without AD Mitchell. I mean, holy shit, Nate. Come on.
Okay, when you guys see the cards flip over and Michael Pittman comes in at 7% owned and Anthony Richardson comes in at 14%, the amount of post-contest ROI, like this thing is gonna look great. Devon A-Chain, Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Yoshivash, Commanders D.
Who did I miss? Tyreek and who?
Waddle.
Jesus.
So it's a full Miami stack.
Nate just loves to just really push it to the edge with this team. Yeah, I knew this was not going to be good.
Okay, that's pre-contest. Wait till you see when the cards flip over and Alvin Kamara comes in below 20.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson comes in below 20. I bet this lineup looks great.
Yeah, no,
because Pittman came in legitimately like 5 to 7%. Waddle was under 10%. Yeah, I mean, the guys that got steamed the most in tournaments were Kenneth Walker and Tyreek. And so if you guys, I feel like this team was solid. Because most of these tournaments that I'm trying to play are not the 30,000 entries. You know, you just got to hit the one-offs. It's trying to build correlated bets. And
no, I get what you're doing. I think you just always do it one too many.
As opposed to me, who did like 4 too many. I mean,
well, you actually didn't do enough. You didn't correlate enough.
Huh?
Sammy correlated. He just correlated with pieces that didn't project well. It's okay to correlate with chalk.
The guy who took Kylan fucking Granson. I mean, I'm not going to hear it from you, Nate.
Dude, Kylan Granson.
And honestly, you shouldn't.
Not taking the L week 1, baby. Forget that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know the Kylan Granson thing, whatever. But the Richardson thing, he came in so underowned.
He did. Well, it was because of Fields, right? Because the Richardson and Fields stuff. The ownership projections were wrong. Like a bunch of the Richardson teams became Fields teams.
Yeah, there's not much to hate on here except like Michael Pittman. It's
Dude,
like
Michael Pittman. Here's the thing about Michael Pittman. I don't like Michael Pittman in a vacuum. I think Michael Pittman is overrated. I have 0% of him in best ball. And I think.
But you saw Cardi's projection like everyone else, and your jaws went agape.
And no one wanted to play him. Dink called him the worst tournament play on the board. People just faded him. He came in at 7%.
Yeah, because AD Mitchell is the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
he's an incredible tournament play at 7%.
Mitchell was like 2 pubic hairs away from having a monster game. Like if A-Rich could throw, I shouldn't even say that because A-Rich like threw a couple of straight up bombs.
Dude, the Alec Pierce touchdown, the first Alec Pierce touchdown, man.
Dude, that was insanity. A-Rich,
that was like a Terminator throw.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
A-Rich is gonna break the game. I mean, he's so good,
and he's giant. He's huge. Do you guys like want to talk about week 1, like some like key week 1 takeaways? Do you have anything where you were like,
yeah,
this is a thing?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Bijan thing was one of the biggest because it'll be like those running backs who just like have a floor of like 18 in DK cash are I mean, it's the old Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, Todd. Like we just would play those guys and play those guys and play those guys. I think that the Bijan was like Bijan and A-Chain probably, I would say, are like my number one fantasy takeaways. Like those guys are going to be the story of the fantasy season if they stay healthy. Like A-Chain probably will score more fantasy points per game this year than he did last year, which is insane because he scored, I think, 22 points per game last year. If you take out the ones where he left injured, I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And Bowers is gonna super nuke. Bowers looks incredible. Minshew actually didn't look that bad. Pierce is just
he's not that bad. Like he's a below average NFL quarterback, but like he's not a woat, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that for sure.
I thought the it wasn't from today's games, but I had a lot of optimism about the Eagles. We talked a lot about it. A lot was talked about the fact that they were going to modernize their offense. They were stagnant and crap ass in the second half of last season. They just like lined up the same guys, same places all the time. It was so bad. They showed a lot. And Jalen Hurts like kind of had a weird game and they still put up 34 points. You know what I mean? Like I thought they left a lot of meat on the bone. And Saquon Barkley, I mean, dude, we saw this with Christian McCaffrey. I was not big on Saquon this year. And dude, we saw McCaffrey go to the Niners and just completely transform and smash. And obviously it's just one game, but big on the Eagles, big on Saquon. I don't see how that can't be a huge takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, if I had to say one thing about week one, it seems like we, as a society, have gotten a little too much best ball brain and like started to fade running back volume in a 1 week sample. And DFS is just a different game. Like when part of the zero RB thesis is that these guys wear down over time and they get hurt and everything like that. But in a 1 game sample, you're not exposing yourself to the same risk.
That's totally what I thought with Kamara. I was like, there's a lot of best ball bros who are going to pull up the projection and be like, why is Alvin Kamara projected for so many points? I kept fading that guy so I could take Jalen Warren. What,
Yes.
what am I doing?
And if you open up and you look at like all of the expectations, you're going to see Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, all of those guys.
Yo, Joe Mixon sucks today, bro.
Yeah, so I'm actually tossing that one out. I'm just like, Joe Mixon, shout out to you for one. That one is water off my back.
I mean, it was a lot of volume though.
It's a lot of volume, and I guarantee you, if he comes in at 12 or under 12% owned in tournaments, like these are the type of plays that I think we can take advantage of.
What I think will happen though is that they naturally will transition to being more of a pass heavy team. I mean, they kind of got let off the hook by Richardson missing those throws today. Like there's going to become a time. I mean, they just will naturally tilt more pass heavy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just think overall, all of the value that I saw are in guys that the field is fading, and that's Ramondre Stevenson, James Conner.
You guys laughed. You guys laughed.
Oh, Baki's in, baby. I took him in a league after I roasted you.
Did you guys take Dobbins? Because Dobbins also was.
Dude, your bags, your Dobbins bags. I was thinking about you all day because it's the only.
The Dobbins bags. The Dobbins bags feel good.
Nate, I'm gonna have to. Yeah. What capitulate? Is that the ETR? Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ! Like Dobbins. Complete smash. And
Nate, I ended up with a lot of Dobbins. And in part because I mean, I still think he's probably a dog to make it alive to week 17. I think we saw the one big run. I think we saw he's got no long speed left at all. Like just none. He can't, he's incredible at getting through the first and the second level, but once he gets past the safeties, they're going to be able to catch up with him.
On that last run, he was like 3 or 4 yards ahead of the guy behind him.
No long speed, which is fine. I mean, you don't even need long speed to be a good chunk runner or whatever. Like Kyron is not fast.
No, and like J.K. Dobbins, his career yards per carry is just like pretty insane. I think it's like somewhere around 5. Nate, you probably
he's second in the NFL behind A-Chain.
Yeah.
So I'm only saying this because I also feel it. I felt it going into the year. The guy that I was probably most underexposed on in best ball in the first 2 rounds, that's a wide receiver, is Marvin Harrison Jr. And honestly, the usage, if I was holding Marvin Harrison Jr. bags, I would be scared.
Yeah.
I think that I do think he's going to not end 4th. But the fact that Dortch got what Dortch got, the fact that McBride got what he got.
Well,
And
real ball knowers know about Greg.
I mean,
yeah, obviously, Greg Dortch is a man amongst boys. But the other thing about Marvin Harrison, like the thesis of the play is that's going to be more of a second half take.
Yeah, it's back-weighted. It's back-weighted production.
Yeah, but
you don't want back-weighted production. Here's the thing. We did ADP chasing the other day. We did like our truth serum thing.
Yeah.
And one of mine was, I'm just pretty sure that Marvin Harrison Jr. was a bad pick, and I just was afraid to say that because people are like, "Bro, you don't know ball."
Coward.
But it's not that he was a bad pick in a vacuum. It's that he was bad because he was going ahead of Deebo Samuel and Nico Collins, like 2 of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Period. Nico today. Nico, I think could lead wide receivers in fantasy points. Like,
dude, he is a dog.
He had 40%. He had 40% air yard share. Like,
I'm pretty convinced that like you'll look at the stuff from today and you'll see the targets like pretty evenly distributed in Houston. But I think like when you start looking at the depths, it's clear that Nico's the alpha.
Yeah, 100%. It honestly, did you guys feel like this? Did you guys feel like they were like, we got to get Diggs a touchdown because
100%. When he scored that first touchdown, it was like, we got to keep this guy from being a cancer. We're gonna get him an easy layup underneath touchdown. Then they got him another layup touchdown. It was like, yeah, you guys are like doing it, but dude, he's like they're like
Nico. Yeah, Nico had the catch of the freaking week, dude, to convert that third down at the end. That was unreal.
Nico's a straight up gam for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nico.
So I probably will not be chasing the Stephon Diggs points.
Oh, I also
did you guys also see the Keenan Allen air yards? Because Keenan Allen also was like.
Did you see him hurt his heel and limp off?
Yeah. He I don't know that he made it through that game, Nate. He was not.
He did. He finished. It was like he came back in, didn't he?
I mean, there's gonna be an adjust. Like Caleb is work like it's not there. He's working through it. He'll get there.
Do you guys have any Keenan Allen BMI takes? Did you see him in HD?
I'm gonna look at because that new NFL Pro subscription is really nice. I will go watch some of his routes tomorrow when they're up. I expect he probably will look fine.
He looked fine. He was outrunning guys deep. Like
he did have a
also dropped a touchdown. Yeah, stone dropped it. It was going to be Caleb Williams' first NFL touchdown pass, and he had him.
But
the one thing he's good at is catching the rock, and he just stone-assed it like an idiot.
But that doesn't worry me. I would be more worried if he looked slow, if he looked whatever. Him dropping a ball is not concerning to me.
Yeah,
like that's not.
Like, one of my takes this year was that Keenan Allen was going to be the Mike Evans of last year, where it's just like he totally dropped because he's just old and things change for him. But it's a guy who produces every single year always and has really never not been good. And he'll outproduce his ADP because of that. And he had good usage today, but should have caught that touchdown, bro. Like, come on, be a pro.
Yeah. A big one that I'm going to do is like, this is like very specific for DFS is there's going to be this big revolt, like the next 2 weeks, like, dude, elite tight end, it's over. Kincaid couldn't get a target. Dude, McBride sucks. Kelsey sucks. Andrew sucks. It's all about Juwan Johnson and Isaiah Likely and Zach Ertz. Like, I'm gonna be pushing back against that pretty hard. I'm gonna be playing Andrews. I'm gonna be playing. I mean, even Pitts. Like Pitts. This is like the greatest usage we're ever gonna see from Kyle Pitts. Like, I guess they're on Monday night next week, but I'll be pretty in on that.
Where are the Ravens Raiders?
Raiders.
If you want to get in on some Mark Andrews, man. I mean,
what is Likely going to cost? Likely will be 4,700, and Andrews will be 5,200, and Likely will be more owned.
Yeah, Well, and you guys have seen the tweets, the ball knowers. Andrews was going deep, and they were doubling up.
Yeah, week 2 is a great week for NFL DFS. There's a lot of overreactions. I mean, here, let's see. Did any team suck today that we think doesn't suck?
The Falcons.
I mean, the Bengals. Like,
fine.
I do think the Bengals suck. So I guess that one's not great. Zach Moss.
Yeah, then why'd you have him take us in the survivor pool, Davis?
Well, Sammy, I'm a Bengals hater, bro. I just hate the Bengals.
Mad. Confirmed mad.
Moss will be, if Moss stays at like a $5,500 guy on DraftKings, he'll be pretty strong.
Moss will be the Chuba Hubbard of next week for me.
Yeah, and he'll definitely do nothing. Yeah. Browers led the team in targets. First game in the NFL, more targets than Devontae Adams.
And Adams. Rather have Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, I mean, not especially, man. Like, looking over the games, like, there's nobody.
It was the teams that were bad played bad. It's just like, I guess one thing I will say about the Bills' target distribution is that was a very weird game. Josh Allen only attempted 23 passes, and
they were down like half the time.
And James Cook got the most touches of his career.
Look good.
So like I'm not super sweating Kincaid. I did like that Keon Coleman came in and played very well. I thought that was pretty strong. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. I am worried about Chase Brown, but like I guess you got to define worry. Like, this was always possible that he was going to be the ass end of the timeshare. It's like he's the explosion play guy, and any game where he doesn't have where he doesn't rip off a 37-yard play, it's going to be a bad game for him. Like, it just is what it is.
More worried about the Jalen Wright bags, I think.
No, I mean, the Jalen Wright
the Jalen Wright thesis was always
he's someone who's going to have to get hurt. Jalen Wright was never impacting their season without. Is this true? It's Bengals at Chiefs.
Is it really?
Oh my God, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to lose by 40, dude. That's going to be
Bucky Irving workload was crazy.
Dude, hey, Tank Bigsby.
Tank
Tank
great.
Yeah.
Tank and Bucky both got way more work than I was expecting.
Yeah, we spent all this time, and obviously it's the first game of the season, but we spent all this time drafting, Bucky Irving, who did get a decent amount of work and looked pretty good. But the Chase Browns, the Jalen Wrights, the Ray Davises, all these guys, and Tank Bigsby might be the early leader for backup running back of the season through
Jaleel. I mean, Jaleel got all the passing work we were hoping for. So.
Yeah, we knew that though.
Estime fumbled. Not great.
R.I.P. This year's Tank Bigsby.
I mean, yeah, he really could be. Oh, I mean, that was another thing is freaking not Mixon.
Madison.
No. I was just in the middle of a point and I completely lost it.
Yeah, it's Drake.
Knicks just looked awful. Knicks just looked off. Like, I kind of thought, I mean, Sammy, you and I were talking about this earlier. I kind of thought he would just be competent. Not like good. Like, I didn't think this could be a guy like Caleb who could come in and transform you. I just kind of thought he would come in and be Gardner Minshew-y. And he was not. Bo Nix was sub. And I mean, first game, he's got time. He had 2.4 YPA on 42 attempts. I think it was. It was really unbelievable.
Not great, Chief. By the way, I'm not watching the game because we're potting, but the David Montgomery has 9 rushes to 1 for Jahmyr Gibbs right now.
That's just it wasn't that. That's always was meme, dude. What did we think was going to happen?
I mean, Davis, you haven't taken your Justin Jefferson victory lap. Sam Darnold.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to be so right about that. Everyone who's like, "Well, aren't you worried?" It's like, okay, yeah, I'm worried about Justin. Did you see what he did to that poor Giants defensive back on the touchdown? Yeah. I mean, I thought they might have to send that guy home to his mom, bro. Like, unbelievable.
He bodied them. I mean, Davis has never been so happy about 4 catches for 59 yards in his life.
Sam Darnold looked incredible. Sam Darnold ended the game with like a 17% completion above expected. Like Sam Darnold had a great game.
He was, I believe he was 14 for 14 to start the game. Yeah. And Jordan Addison left with an ankle injury. And he do you see the dime he threw to Jalen Naylor?
Bro, I mean, just, Naylor, those 18th round Naylor bags
he put it in the bucket, dude. Yeah.
Darnold and Carr both had incredible games.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones looked very good. Yeah.
Aaron Jones always looks good. Like
Aaron Jones always looks good.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones always looks good.
Aaron Jones is like a top 10 running back in yards per carry, like all time, something like that. Like he averages more than 5 for his career. It's really high, but that's not the problem with Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Caleb Williams being last in the league so far in completion percentage over expected, not feel great.
No, I'm not.
Well, he's undefeated. Nobody's ever beat him.
I'm not sweating.
I'm not saying I'm sweating it, but it doesn't feel great after your first start to be below Bryce Young and Daniel Jones.
Never want to be
there's a good take. There's a good take. Bryce Young is not going to be in the NFL next year, or won't be a starting quarterback in the NFL next year.
I watched Bryce Young, and I genuinely don't understand what talent evaluators got wrong. How did he get to I've never once watched him for a moment and thought competent. I mean, he looks
college
small and afraid. I just don't understand how anybody could have seen this guy succeeding at the NFL level.
Well, these are the players. These are the players that he played with when he was in college. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jace McClellan, who's the third running back on the Falcons, Jermaine Burton, third round pick, Kobe Prentice, who's going to be a high pick next year, Cameron Latu, who is a 49er, I believe. Yeah, it's over. Rookie, I thought Ladd looked great. I think Ladd's role will really grow. Like I could definitely the thing is that Josh Palmer is ass. So
he's ass, and it is, if it wasn't already, it is Jover for QJ.
Honestly, QJ like catching a pass in this game, I was like, good for you, Quentin.
Yeah, good. He also doinked one and then got involved in that fight at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, him and Bryce Young are going to be sitting on the couch next year and be like, well, at least we're rich.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's probably Ronnie Rivers just subbed in before Blake Corum. All right, let's fire Jets 49ers pick 'em, and then we can get out of here. I'll go first. No. Nate, do you want to go first? Or you got to run your model, bro?
I mean, I know ball. I can do a field take. Let me see.
All right, I'm taking Debo rushing a receiving touchdown. Yeah, QJ arrow up because he literally got onto a. Oh, this is a good week one takeaway. If you were hopiuming, if you were taking David Njoku, Jerry Jeudy, any Browns player, you are just hoping that Deshaun Watson just calls it quits.
Yeah,
by week 3
dude,
because
he can't do it.
It's crazy. I've never. Yeah, Brady didn't even know what to say. I guess what I would surmise is that his shoulder injury is so bad and so painful that when he tries to put any velocity into the throw, he doesn't know where it's going. And if he wants to know where it's going, he can't throw it that hard. That's my guess.
I'll take over 69.5 for Garrett Wilson.
Oh, easy.
All right. You know ball, dude.
Yeah.
Do you like that or receptions more?
No, not receptions. I like yards.
Okay.
Because Aaron Rodgers' pace of play, I don't know. I always struggle with overall volume, but he's going to get some deep and he's going to break a play.
Yeah.
They don't have the targets for Mike Williams on Underdog.
They do not. Do you like 2.5 receptions higher?
I like 2.5 receptions lower.
I was going to say Mike Williams. We have no idea how much he's worked in.
Yeah, I have a decent amount of fiat on one leg left. Mike Williams under 5.5 targets on Prize Picks. You guys keep going. I'm going to see if there's any defensive
I'm looking to see if there's anything else that's interesting for a lower. The
The only other lowers I would consider. No, never mind. I was going to say
spell
They're
check
not
4.5 receiving yards.
No, this isn't the Super Bowl, bro.
God, I can't wait. I can't
I
wait
would.
to be.
I think I would take Mosley over. I mean, I need to look more into this on how the San Francisco official scores are, but probably over 7 tackles and assists. I don't know if solo tackles is better, but when in doubt, go with the assists.
Okay. Sure.
San Francisco funnels. I actually don't. Ferg Daddy Dusty. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Tough. Good for CD Lamb bags. San Francisco filters so much of their stuff to the middle of the field that I have to look because I don't have it in front of me. But I'd imagine they're pretty good matchup for.
All right, let's
take it over 4 for a running
What
back.
about?
I don't care.
What about 4 first downs for Brees
total?
Yeah,
I can vibe.
I mean, Alec, to give you an idea of what that's like, Alec Pierce's first down lines today was 2.5. That feels
I am
low.
not going to make a take on that. I don't do enough first down modeling.
We got to add one more to make it a 5-legger. The making it 5 adds like an extra 30 cents of EV.
Yeah, this is great podcasting, by the way.
All right, fine. We're doing Brees 4 first downs. All right. Toss 10
Well, next
on
time
that.
I'll run the numbers. I didn't know. I haven't looked at anything for tomorrow.
Yeah, Davis just kind of threw this on us.
I know. He's like, "Hey guys, we're doing a new format of the show." Great. Tell the listeners as we're finding out.
God, don't ever say that to me again. Don't ever come into my house and suggest taking an Alan Lazard over. My God. Deebo Samuel higher rushing plus receiving touchdowns. Garrett Wilson higher 69.5 receiving yards. Mike Williams lower 2.5 receptions. CJ Mosley higher 7 tackles plus assists. Brees Hall higher 4 first downs. Boys, it was wonderful to be back here again. We're gonna get out of here.
So great to lose money with you guys. This is awesome. Yeah. Really missed it.
Phenomenal stuff, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to this on the rotogrinders feed, thank you. There's no Rodgers promo because I already bet it. We will be back next week, everyone.